welcome back to the Jacked Racing YouTube channel. Welcome back to the shop. We are in the process of doing some major surgery here on the truck. We've got the transmission pulled out. We've got pretty much everything else in there pulled out right now. We're checking to see what has been causing that clutch slipping sound that you can hear in some of the videos on the starts. Let me show you the clutch that we just pulled out of it real quick. Here's the clutch that just came out of the truck. It doesn't look all that bad. These are just some spare clutches we had. It's not really the worst looking clutch we've ever seen. So now we're trying to look into what else could be causing that. We took the flywheel and the bell housing and everything else outside to wash it, clean it up, make sure there's no oil on anything. And right now we're about to take a look at the pilot bearing. And we have a new one here that we're going to try and replace it with. But we're going to try something a little unconventional here. This is the solution right here. Apparently, a piece of bread. I know we watched it. Ooh, that is probably going to work pretty well, isn't it? That's a good moist piece of bread. So apparently, to pull these little bearings out, you can just kind of force feed some bread in there. Take a bolt like this, stick it through the hole, and pound it on with a hammer, and the bread on the inside will push that bearing back off. It's worth a shot, right? I mean, what the heck? We were going to use grease, but we figured that was going to make a mess, so maybe a little bit of carbs is all the engine needs, and it'll spit this bearing out. So let's go underneath and feed our engine some bread. Alright, here goes nothing. Just gonna feed the engine some bread. There you go. This feels so wrong. This absolutely feels like it should not be the correct thing to do, but apparently it's gonna work. Should I have a hammer?
Yeah. Oh, are you ready for it already?
Oh, yeah. It's full of bread.
Got your little bolty?
Got my bolt, got my bread.
And then you gotta watch and see if that thing is like slowly popping out when you do it.
I have a bad angle, I can. Might be coming out a little bit.
Yeah. That's how it works. It's just like a little bit at a time. It'll slowly pop out.
Put some more bread in it. How do we get the bread out?
I will take it out when we're done. After it comes all the way out. Still cramming bread in there?
No. I'm giving my neck and shoulder a chance to rest for a minute. So upon further review, we've decided we do not recommend the bread technique. Dad went down and used some grease after I couldn't get it with the bread, and it ended up coming out. So here's what we pulled out. It's kind of crappy. Honestly, this thing's not in very good shape. Luckily, we have a new one here that we're going to put in. This looks like it's going to be much, much nicer. Maybe it was just kind of, wobbling around in there a little bit. Maybe this thing was really worn. Maybe that was some of our problem. We also did find a little bit of oil coming out of the back of the crankshaft down there. So we put some gasket sealer around there. Hopefully that'll stop that. Maybe just one of these things will fix the problem, since the clutch itself doesn't look that bad. As long as we just keep throwing ideas at it, eventually one of them will stick. Normally this is the part where it's the end of the week and I would tell you how excited we are to get to the racetrack and try out all the new changes we made, but apparently there's a tropical storm coming to Florida this weekend, so we're not racing. The forecast said there was a 100% chance, and for some reason I guess that made the track think it was a good idea to cancel, which I totally agree with, honestly. I'm glad they canceled it ahead of time rather than making us wait till race day, possibly wasting fuel driving up. now we can just get this thing ready to go back to quarter mile racing. We've got 2 more races coming up in June. They're both on quarter miles. We got one at Citrus, one at Auburndale. Hopefully the Florida weather will cooperate with us. It's been almost a month since we've been on the track now because Florida can't seem to get their act together weather-wise. It seems like only Saturdays it rains. Like, it's perfect throughout the week. Saturday shows up, bam, huge downpour, ruins everything. But that's part of it sometimes. What are you going to do? That's, I guess, the downside of being able to race all year. We can race every month of the year, but there's going to be those rainy months in the summer where really hit and miss. So it's all good. We didn't really find anything with the transmission and the clutch. We did replace that pilot bearing. Maybe that'll make a difference. We're just going to keep checking things off the list over the next couple of weeks. It's like we're rebuilding one system at a time on the truck. The exhaust system is done. It looks awesome. You can see all the way back out there. We've got the exits here. I've got to rivet that back down. That's not a big deal, but if we can get the exhaust in place, we're working on the drivetrain, getting that squared away, finding the right gears for these tracks, and you know, just one thing at a time. We've rebuilt the suspension, and yeah, by the time we're done with this, we're basically gonna have a new race truck. So thank you for watching. We will update as we keep working throughout the week to try and get ready to go for the quarter miles, and then we'll hopefully see you next week at Auburndale Speedway. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.